NSE and IM and NNPG agreed in principle to come together, says NPF. Over 55,000 cases in a day take India's overall tally near 72 lakh. Coronavirus recovery rate in Manipur surges to 78.98%. Mizoram to regularly reopen schools for class 10-12 from October 16. And COVID-19 vaccine expected in early 2021, distribution plan in work, says Harshvardhan. As a responsible citizen, it is our duty to minimize the spread of coronavirus as much as possible. Wash your hands frequently with soap for at least 20 seconds. Using an alcohol-based sanitizer also helps keep the virus at bay. Avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth. Avoid stepping out unless absolutely necessary. Always wear a mask before stepping out and even in your own home in the presence of outsiders, as masks have been proven effective in containing the virus. Maintain a social distance of at least 2 meters in public places. And now the news in details. Hello and welcome to Times of Manipur News. I'm JESSIA OINAM giving you the news in details. The Political Affairs Mission PM, formed by opposition Naga People's Front NPF to help facilitate the ongoing peace talks to resolve the Naga political issue, has said that the National Socialist Council of Nagalim IM and the Naga National Political Groups and NPGs have agreed in principle to come together and discuss across the table issues related to the peace process. According to the report, the NSE and IM had last week said it has made its stand very loud and clear during the ongoing talks that there is no way forward without finalizing on Naga flag and constitution. The NPF PM in a statement said their objective is to bring the NSE and IM and the NNPGs made up of 7 outfits to a common understanding, as both the groups are now engaged in negotiation with the Center for a Political Solution. After withdrawing from the Joint Legislature Forum, JLF, on Naga political issue in August, the NPF constituted the PAM with the objective of further strengthening the ongoing talks between the Naga Nationalist Group and the Center, while continuing to play the role of an active facilitator on the Naga political issue. The statement said the two sides have agreed in principle to come together and discuss across the table as proposed by NPF PM in a separate meeting with both the groups. India's COVID-19 tally stands at 71,75,881 with 55,342 fresh cases, while the number of people who have recuperated crossed 62 lakh. In metro cities, after initial upswing, the case trajectory is showing changes. While Delhi, Pune and Thane seem to be slowing down, many cities such as Bengaluru, Mumbai and Kolkata continue to face the heat of infectious disease. Johnson & Johnson has temporarily paused its COVID-19 vaccine candidate clinical trials due to an unexplained illness in a study participant. The participant's illness is being reviewed and evaluated by an independent data and safety monitoring board, as well as the company's clinical and safety physicians. In India, active COVID-19 cases stands at 8.61 lakh, while 61.49 people have recovered from the disease so far. India shows a single-day rise of 66,732 infections, which pushed India's case load to 71.2 lakh yesterday. With 223 persons infected with COVID-19, Manipur's coronavirus total tally has spiked to 13,556 in the past 24 hours, the COVID-19 Command Control Room informed. The contagion claimed 2 more patients yesterday, taking the death toll to 93 in the state. The positive cases stands at 13,556, while the number of active cases is 2,756. So far, 10,707 have recuperated. The recovery rate has further improved to 78.98%. The Mizoram government has decided to regularly reopen schools for students of classes 10 and 12 from October 16, an Education Department official said. According to a media report, the decision was taken in accordance with the Union Home Ministry's order, which allowed states to reopen schools after October 15, depending on the COVID-19 situation in their respective states. School Education Department Director James Larvincha said the decision was taken during a meeting chaired by Education Minister Lalchandama Ralte yesterday. The Education Department has issued a separate standard operating procedure (SOP) which should be followed by all the authorities of schools and hostels besides students, he said. Only those students who test negative for COVID-19 in rapid antigen tests will be allowed in hostels. The state government has partially reopened schools from September 21st last for students of classes 9 to 12, allowing them to consult their teachers on subject matters. India is likely to have a vaccine against the coronavirus disease COVID-19 by early next year, and it will possibly come from several sources, Union Health Minister Harshvardhan said in a meeting of the group of ministers today. According to the report, Vardhan said India is expecting vaccine early next year from maybe more than one source. The health minister added that the country's expert group are formulating strategies to plan on how to roll out the distribution of the vaccine in India. The World Health Organization WHO chief scientist Soumya Swaminathan has also said that a vaccine will be ready for registration by the end of 2020 or early next year. A man was arrested along with a stolen Royal Enfield Bullet by a team of Thobal Police Commando at Lilong. The vehicle was reportedly stolen from Thobal Bazaar. Acting on a tip of the commando team earlier in the morning launched a search operation in the Lilong area when Prabesh, aged 20 years of Kiamgai OINAM Lokon Lilong ITI crossing, was arrested, a report said. The team later recovered the stolen vehicle from his possession. The arrested along with Bullet was handed over to Thobal Police Station for further legal action. Now it's time for a short break. Keep watching Times of Manipur News.
Now enjoy 20% extra on Kangla popcorn, Kangla Milky Balls and Kangla rings.
Kangla.
Sina pare, tan ba dinate ko? Aseng ba? Ay na pamba. Darkar ba grocery items singda. Red delivery app season araga order to biro loire. Chaning ba restaurant ki food po erso. Overpay to budilar dana. Pot khuding mak discount pi baga loina na. Khudak te na ti ore isine. Red delivery for you.
Al Hayat, the best halal restaurant in Manipur. Miyam na pam na chanariba Al Hayat restaurant gi hauraba mathel khudingmak red delivery app ki khuthangda order to biraktuna yamna laina ahenba charges yaudana isa gi yumda thilaknabagi khudong chaba pijari. App si download tawduna app si gi khuthangda ngasimak order tawbiyu. Chana thaknaba polam sing khaktanatana imung amada nongmar changdraba yadraba grocery item kaya marum suna fanglaba app ni. Ngasimak download tawbiyu. Red delivery for you.
Miyam gi thogal gi damak thong hangsare. Miyam gi damak ahong ba wai malda adom gi mathau taba apamba commercial vehicle amade machine sing wai binaba aikoi gi phone number 9615846446 ta call tawbiraktuna tipper haiva excavator JCB Poklen Volvo excavator haiba singa sidage adom gi mathau taba apamba machine sing wai bi bayaragani.
Thoibi
Haza, cheng no slow. I call out Toby.
Marks ti
Kaigi marks no.
Kaigi marks no bu kaino hujik oiriba COVID-19 gi lecture asida marks yauduna thopa habese khudong thiningai natra
Haza, I sukhange. ai anaba minati marks laibada changadaba sel duna ko mathap ahawba dum chathoke
Nangi sidi lairik hairaga laishu khangdaba haibaduni marks upana chinna tondagi tholakpa lok tinna jingbasing phajingadori bane nushita yaramba amora kai singdo marks upadi hakchangna changakpadagi ngakthoktoine
adudi thaja ai marks amta upugige
COVID-19 laichatagi thingnanaba chathokka matamda mask upiyu season nabiru raba disposable masking mafam chaba yenglaga mai thadokpiyu natragana phumjinbiyu fina sem sajaba masking oiragana nimit khudingi suk samthokpiraba matungda da seasonnabiyu
Isagi mamal yamnaba punsibu kansi amadi atopagi punsibu khudongthiba sidagi ngakthoksi.
Welcome back after the break. The International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction 2020 was observed at the first Manipur Rifles ground in Imphal. The event was organized by Department of Relief and Disaster Management. Around 80 personnel of Police Department, State Disaster Response Force (SDRF), and Manipur Rifles attended the program. Former Minister N. Mangi said that since he has joined the BJP, he will now work for the welfare and development of Kumbi constituency and its people. Mangi was attending a meeting with his supporters at his Kumbi residence. Mangi assured that he will take up various developmental works like river lift irrigation, RLI schemes, road connectivity and farmer schemes. Wangu, Borayang Bijila Parishad member M. Brojen, Wangu Terakhong Gram Panchayat Pradhan P. Baleshwar, Kumbi Municipal Council Chairperson W. Priyo Ranjan, Councillor W. Bobby Chan, Ward number 9, N. Ongbi Ibecha, Ward number 4, and W. Megachandra, Ward number 7, took part in the meeting. Volunteers of Relief Committee Against COVID-19, Hairok, under the initiative of Hairok, MLA Dr. Thokchom Radesham, distributed rations to the COVID-19 affected families of Hairok Partri, Ngarau Thel Leikai. Hairok Partri Pradhan and Tangba Relief Committee Secretary and Hairok Jila Parishad member T. Nungshi Singh and members of Youth Brilliance Club Hairok were present. T. Nungshi said the people should not be panicking about COVID-19 and that the MLA has arranged 2 ambulances for emergencies. Recently, 13 people from Hairok Partri, Ngarau Thel Leikai tested positive for COVID-19. Apunba Club in Ithai Barrage area, Mairapaibi, have condemned the decision by National Hydroelectric Power and HPC to install a remote sensor gate at Ithai Dam roadway over the Manipur River. A meeting was held yesterday in this regard at Ithai Barrage Community Hall to discuss the development. Spokesperson of LJP Manipur Unit and Ibohal Social Worker and Ibobi, Secretary of Bishnupur District Committee Sanasam Prem Chandra Maitai, Chairman of CORE Pulindro Konsam, President of UCM Sunil Karam, Harikon President L. Ratan, President of CCS K. Jitendra Ningomba, President of Lipul Somendro Thokchom, Executive Director of HRA Bablu Loitongba, President of ICAL OINAM Bimola Devi, and representatives of various organizations of Suknu and Kumbi were present during the meet. Potential impacts on local residents, farmers and farmlands were discussed during the meet. They also decided to oppose the NHPC's decision to build a remote sensor gate. Once again, it's time for a short break. Keep watching Times of Manipur News.
COVID-19 pandemic ki kallaba safuna school, college, coaching center chingbasing thonglona khrabasu isa gi yumda ningthijana tamba yaraba ahanbagi oina class 12 chemistry subject ki takpi tambibagi lamda sangne experience leiraba oza sonamani na puthopi be application ngasima Google Play Store da changbiduna download tobiyu sonamani e-classes. Nang medical ta masatpado ASEA gina nang naktahang malaini General Nursing and Midwifery GNM 3 years course 12 in arts or science stream and confused to become a part of one of the most respectable professional career of all time 12 and above duration 3 years 6 months BSc in Medical Radiology and Imaging Technology DMRI
Ultrasound MRI CT scan X-ray
BSc in Medical Laboratory Technology
BSc in Operation Theatre Technology
Amang sang sang luraba matung natraga saramdai thaklamdai da sapon sijina duna khut seng handok pigadabani khujin tena nana thambigadabani ꯑꯐꯕ ꯏꯁꯤꯡ ꯄꯤꯊꯛꯄꯤꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯆꯥꯅꯕ ꯄꯣꯠꯂꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯐꯖꯅ ꯀꯨꯞꯇꯨꯅ ꯊꯝꯕꯤꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯌꯨꯝꯒꯤ ꯑꯀꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯃꯁꯨꯡ ꯑꯃꯥꯡꯁꯪ ꯂꯨꯅ ꯅꯥꯟꯅ ꯊꯝꯕꯤꯌꯨ ꯆꯍꯤ 5 ꯐꯥꯎꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯗ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨ ORS, ꯖꯤꯡ ꯇꯦꯕ꯭ꯂꯦꯠ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯆꯜ ꯁꯨꯕ ꯆꯤꯟꯖꯥꯛꯁꯤꯡ ꯐꯖꯅ ꯄꯤꯖꯕꯤꯗꯨꯅ ꯗꯥꯏꯔꯤꯌꯥꯗꯒꯤ ꯉꯥꯛꯊꯣꯛꯃꯤꯟꯅꯔꯁꯤ
ꯌꯨꯔꯣꯞꯇ ꯏꯟꯖꯤꯅꯤꯌꯔꯤꯡ ꯃꯦꯅꯦꯖꯃꯦꯟꯠ PIG ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯖꯦꯅꯔꯦꯜ ꯀꯣꯔꯁ ꯇꯝꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯃꯍꯩꯔꯣꯏꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯣꯂꯔꯁꯤꯞ 100% ꯐꯪꯕꯇ ꯅꯠꯇꯅ ꯁꯥꯏꯐꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ 4.2 ꯂꯥꯛ ꯐꯪꯕꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯆꯥꯕ ꯂꯩꯔꯕ ꯃꯍꯩ ꯇꯝꯐꯝꯁꯤꯡꯅꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯐꯣꯔꯦꯟ ꯂꯩꯕꯥꯛꯁꯤꯡꯗ MBBS, MD ꯀꯣꯔꯁꯅꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯇꯝꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯑꯦꯖꯨꯀꯦꯁꯟ ꯂꯣꯟꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯆꯥꯕꯁꯨ ꯄꯤꯖꯔꯤ ꯍꯦꯟꯅ ꯑꯀꯨꯞꯄ ꯃꯔꯣꯜꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛ ꯀꯣꯟꯇꯦꯛ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯔꯛꯎ Forthwith Global Consulting Private Limited, North AOC Kekrupat, Imphal. Contact number 6909-374-625.
ꯏꯃꯥ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯔꯒꯦ ꯄꯩꯔꯒ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯃꯤꯁꯤꯅ
ꯍꯣꯁꯄꯤꯇꯥꯜꯗ ꯆꯠꯂꯨꯕꯅꯦ ꯍꯛꯆꯥꯡꯁꯤ ꯈꯔ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯇꯦꯗꯅ OPTꯒ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯆꯪꯍꯜꯍꯧꯗꯦ ꯃꯤꯅ ꯃꯔꯣꯜ ꯑꯃ ꯆꯤꯜꯂꯤꯕ ꯅꯧꯄꯥꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯝꯇ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯗꯦ ꯐꯣꯜ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯎꯪꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯁꯤꯅꯤ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯐꯣꯜ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯊꯨꯒꯥꯏꯈꯤꯕꯗ ꯁꯣꯏꯔꯣ
ꯑꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯦ
ꯃꯣꯕꯥꯏꯜ ꯄꯥꯏꯔꯒ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯝꯇ ꯂꯧꯔꯣꯏ ꯁꯤ ꯑꯉꯥꯡꯁꯦ ꯇꯣ ꯁꯤ ꯆꯥꯛꯈꯨꯝꯗ ꯊꯝꯃꯨꯀꯣ
ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯇꯉꯥꯏ ꯐꯗꯕ ꯅꯠꯇ꯭ꯔꯗꯤ ꯌꯨꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯐꯣꯟꯗ ꯗꯣꯛꯇꯔꯒ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯁꯥꯟꯅꯔꯒ ꯇꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯦ ꯏꯃꯥ
ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ
ꯁꯦ ꯅꯪꯁꯨ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯣ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗ eSanjeevani OPD ꯑꯦꯄ꯭ꯂꯤꯀꯦꯁꯟꯁꯦ Google Play Storeꯗꯒꯤ ꯗꯥꯎꯟꯂꯣꯗ ꯇꯧꯔꯅꯤ adagi registration sida namaga mobile number hapsilaga verify tawrani adagi anabagi maming matha hapani adagi doctor asangba amaga adum saksa unaraga wari sanaba yare
yam phaina dudia
se
ima kai kai nungai tabal lebege haibiyu
ibungo doctor imagi kokse ngauri tawi saning thakning basu kaya phaude
adom smartphone da eSanjeevani OPD application download tawbiduna natraga computer tablet sijinaduna eSanjeevani OPD.in da sangbiduna isagi yumda komna amadi lemna laying bayabagi khudong chabasi lawbiu.
Welcome back after the break. The autumn session of the Meghalaya Assembly would be held from November The autumn session of the Meghalaya Assembly would be held from November 5 to 12. In all, there would be just 5 sittings of the House in which 2 days are reserved for private members' business and 3 for government-related business, a media report said. The opposition is likely to corner the government over the alleged issue of illegal coal trade continuing in the state. The Congress has raised the issue of illegal coal transportation before the media and has demanded an independent probe into the allegations. Former Meghalaya Chief Minister and opposition leader Mukul Sangma said that a cartel behind this illegal trade is out there to loot from the state exchequer. The Assam and Arunachal Pradesh governments have decided to maintain status quo and hold interstate coordination meetings on a regular basis to resolve the decade-old border dispute between the two northeastern states. As per media reports, a range of important issues pertaining to border dispute were discussed by top officials of both states in a high-level meeting at the Civil Secretariat in Itanagar yesterday. The top officials also agreed to address the issues of cases pending against government officials relating to border disputes at the earliest. Delhi government has waived off road tax on all electric vehicles (EVs). This policy will come into effect from October 10, 2020. The state has invited suggestions from the public on framing rules for the exemption of the registration fee. The orders to waive off the fee will be issued within the next 3 days. Media reports say that draft will be taken into consideration after the expiry of a period of 3 days from the date on which the copies of this notification as published in the Gazette of Delhi are made available to the public. The Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, on August 7, 2020 announced Delhi Electric Vehicle Policy 2020, which focuses on increasing the adoption of EVs in the capital region by incentivizing the use and purchase of the electric vehicles. The Delhi Electric Vehicle Policy 2020 aims at registering approximately 5 lakh electric vehicles in the city by the year 2024. Now we have the newspaper headlines. The Shanghai Express. Dr. Imo passes away at Delhi. COVID-19 claims 2 more lives. Toll rises to 93. Dessam alleges question leak in MED exam. Biren goads BJP workers to ensure party's victory. Whole ADC polls as scheduled at some demands. The People's Chronicle. Mangi Nabakeshwar Dam Congress joined BJP. 230 new cases, 2 deaths in state. Positivity rate to 10%. India records 66,000 new COVID cases. Asuk coal strike on October 15. HAC recommends holding ADC election on time. Imphal free praise. RT-PCR tests on women show different results in government-private testing centers. Former Congress MP candidate state vice president, 2 others joined BJP. MSP shall suspend assistant manager involved in criminal case. At some treat and steer in ADC, election not held on time. Manipur Mail. 4 Congress leaders joined BJP. 230 new cases, 2 deaths, 203 discharged. Finance Minister announces measures of Rs 73,000 crore. KHNAM wants old party meeting. MOU signed between Manipur University and IBSD. Before we end, let's take a look at headlines once again. NSC and IM and NNPG agreed in principle to come together, says NPF. Over 55,000 cases in a day takes India's overall tally near 72 lakh. Coronavirus recovery rate in Manipur surges to 78.98%. Mizoram to regularly reopen schools for class 10-12 from October 16. And COVID-19 vaccine expected in early 2021, distribution plans in work, says Harshvardhan. That's all we have in this bulletin. Keep watching Times of Manipur News.
Thoibi,
Haza.